It's such a nonsense, throwaway kind of, I just want to end this conversation bit.
All right. Hey, gang. Sorry about being all quiet and stuff. We've been watching those movies where you can't make any noise, and it's just kind of stuck with us. We're going to jump off of sci-fi for just a little bit. We thought we might hop on the old Simpsons train tonight.
USA! USA! USA!
We're looking at Simpsons quotes. Now, my approach was to get ones that I can use on a regular basis.
We got decades, right, of Simpsons quotes, and there's so many good ones out there. But like Jeff said, we're looking at the ones that you can use. This is who we're bringing in. We're bringing a Reddit list. This is a couple years old. Screen Rant actually just published something, I think, within the last year, listing like 15 of the most quotable Simpsons. And then one more magazine called Complex, which actually, it's a few years old, actually. I don't even know if Complex is still around, but it's still a good article summarizing quotable Simpsons. So I'm using those three. So we're going to kind of hit our favorites. And, you know, something that occurred to me, Jeff, is we're kind of flying under a false flag here a little bit. Our focus is always Gen X, right? But when did The Simpsons come out? 88, 89, if you count Tracy Ullman. So you had The Simpsons come out. It really isn't a Gen X era, but it came from Gen X brains. And we were old enough to start quoting it. The Gen Z folks, they grew up and they were shaped by it, and God bless you. You know, you guys obviously were shaped by The Simpsons, but the Gen X folks were definitely quoting these and have been quoting these far longer than some of you have been alive. So we're counting this as Gen X territory.
Yeah, I have sort of a baby boomer approach to these things. I like it, so it must be mine.
There we go. I didn't really rank order these. These are just quotes that I use frequently that can be just used in a variety of different places. So Jeff, kick us off.
Okay, well, I'm with you on that. I did not rank these. What I did was I tried to just go over conversations that I've had, and then what I have applied, the quotes that I have applied into the conversations that I've had, which almost always fall on deaf ears. So,
right.
I should like to subscribe to your newsletter.
Your ideas are intriguing to me, and I wish to subscribe to your newsletter.
Actually, I have a quote because you know what? That was actually cited by that Complex magazine. That was one of their tops. I would like to subscribe to your newsletter. Yeah, that is a good quote, and subscribe to your newsletter is I use that frequently as well, and you're right. Unless I'm talking to you, I don't usually get much of a response from folks. One of my throwaways, and most folks, because it's just a common phrase, won't realize I'm quoting unless they hear me say the way I say it. But I'll say, "Uno momento, por favor." That is a quote from Otto during one of the Halloween specials, where he is during the terror at 5.5 feet, and he's looking outside the window. And someone says, they're all looking at
who's driving the bus.
Who's driving the bus? And that's when Otto says, "Oh, un momento, por favor," and he runs off to go take care of driving the bus that's still in motion. So I use that in situations where I should be doing something else, or I realize I should be doing something, and I'll throw that out. I'll say that to myself more than anyone. That one did not. I didn't see any Otto on anybody else's lists, and I'm very disappointed in that.
Yeah, Otto didn't hit my list, and he should have. Yeah, I feel bad about that.
All right, what else you got?
Kent Brockman.
I, for one, welcome our new insect overlords.
That I have used with, reorgs at work. I, for one, welcome our new anything. Yeah, no. I, for one, welcome. Yep.
That is a good one. That one's a living meme, actually, I think, with Brockman and that being kind of getting traded out, insect overlords for whatever else. Yep. Mm-hmm. That's a good one. I didn't put that on my list like a fool, but that is on the Complex list of quotable quotes. So you and Complex are batting 1,000 so far. All right, my next one is...
Oh, Coast Guard?
It's such a nonsense throwaway kind of, I just want to end this conversation bit that it's perfect. And I use it for that very purpose. If someone asks a question, I got no idea. I just kind of want to move on from whatever we're talking about. I don't know, Coast Guard. That's a great episode.
I've actually used that enough and explained it enough that there are people at work, I'll just say, they'll say Coast Guard. So, yeah.
It is amazing. It's funny because
how did I miss it?
Either Screen Rant or Complex, I forget which article, they actually had a recommended usage bit in their article, which I thought was pretty funny.
One night, Homer's over at, I think, Lenny's house, and they're playing poker.
Don't! I mean, woohoo!
So I use woohoo, but also the next step was he throws his cards down and he says, I don't have anything. And Mo is like,
oh, you... Oh, God, choking on my own rage here.
Which is another one that I used from
Choking
that
on
scene.
my own rage.
Rage here. And then Lenny says, hey, don't yell at Homer. He can't help it because he's slow. And the next one that I use is...
Something was said. Not good. What was it? Don't yell at Homer. No, that's okay. What was it? Slow. They called you slow. How dare you call me that?
Hey, Homer, you still here? Boy, you are slow.
Something said. Not good.
So, yeah.
That was concentrated quotes.
It's just, yes, it is rich. Rich with quotes.
Yeah, I use those all the time, and I don't know how I didn't put choking on my own rage here because I use that a lot. My next one is usually when I've eaten something that's disagreeing with me. It's Krusty the Clown saying,
Ah, boy! This thing is shredding my insides!
Which is when he is trying to show...
I've heard you say that.
his Krusty Oak cereal had a little piece of a bonus piece of jagged metal, and he's trying to show that it's safe to eat. So it's shredding my insides is a very useful quote.
All right, so this is when someone asks me a question that I don't have an understanding of. This is not I don't know, Coast Guard. Coast Guard? No. This is when I'm failing to comprehend the complexity. Lisa was asking when Homer was going to be teaching the night school, the adult education, and she asked,
So, will you be lecturing from a standardized text or using the more Socratic method of interactive class participation?
Yes, Lisa. Daddy's a teacher.
And when somebody comes at me with a question that I just don't have a good answer for, I'll just, I work in IT.
That's great.
Yeah.
I think I've used that one. It's not one of my more common ones, but I think it's because no one ever expects me to know anything. So I don't get to
Wait
use
a minute.
it as much.
Something said.
This next one I use whenever I have a streak of luck, or it's ironic luck because it's Milhouse.
Everything's coming up Millhouse!
He is wearing
The
those.
flood.
Yep, the floodwater, high water pants, and he was mad about it, and his house gets flooded. He's like, "Oh, my feet are wet, but my pants are dry. Everything's coming up Millhouse," and he just struts out of that house. And so everything is coming up Millhouse. That's one of mine, and I want to say, did Screen Rant do that one? Yep, Screen Rant and Complex both cited that one as some of the most quotable of Simpsons quotes. So I'm on the same page as them. Now with Reddit, what I did was, just as an aside, they had a what's your favorite quote? Anything that got over 10,000 upvotes is what I included. So.
Wow. Yeah. Okay.
All
right. So this is one that has figured into my life for approximately the last 20 years, 24 and a half years, I suppose, considering Isaiah's age, which is any time I'm taking my kids somewhere. It's from season 1, episode 1.
Be normal! Be normal!
Be normal! Be normal. I yell at my kids.
That's awesome.
And that same episode,
I know what you're going to say.
yeah, Homer's saying grace, and he just keeps on going on and on about his family, and finally,
Oh, Lord, why did you smite me with this family?
I have on more than one occasion said, "Why did you smite me with this family?"
I love that.
Oh.
That is not on
Yep.
any of the other lists, but it is
Yeah.
super quotable. So this next one again, I use it mainly with you because of the weird little laugh in there, but I will say it under my breath, which is if someone asks a question that it's the answer is a definite no, I give a good Hibbert laugh.
Oh my goodness gracious, no.
And
Yep.
I don't remember the actual scene where, Homer's something terrible has happened with Homer, and Homer asks him, "Will I be okay?" Something along those lines, and Hilbert just gives
Smithers lost his job.
Oh,
at the plant.
right. Yes. Yes. Well, I moved pianos again. That's right. He telescoped his back and he said, "Will I ever move pianos again?" Oh, heavens no. That's right. Thank
Yep.
you.
One that I would like to use whenever anybody complains about politics, but I don't use because I typically go off on some diatribe, is
Don't blame me. I voted for Kodos.
That is actually on that complex, or that's like their number 2 or 4. That's
Oh,
like
really?
number 4 one. Don't blame me. I voted for Kodos, and I'm sure the exact same reason is used. So my next one is whenever there's a bad situation, I do my best crusty voice and say,
That's not good.
and that's the one where he was performing at the Apollo Theater, and he was doing the
Krusty's.
Krusty's Comedy
Comedy.
Classics, all with K's. So it's
Yep.
abbreviated KKK, and he realized it a little too late that wasn't it.
That's not good. Homer is talking to Moe, and I don't remember the situation on this one, but Homer's talking to Moe, and he says something about parking the car in the garage. And Moe says,
Hey, fellas, the garage. Well, ooh la dee da, Mr. Frenchman.
Well, what do you call it?
A car hole.
and
Carl.
so, yeah. Specifically discussing with you, anytime it's, to put anything anywhere, it goes into that hole.
Right,
I had to put my tablet up in the tablet hole.
right.
Or whatever.
Yeah, and that's what I love. Yeah, with just a little bit of tweaking, you can use almost any of these. Like one of mine on my next one on the list is Lionel Hutz.
That's why you're the judge and I'm the law talking guy.
The lawyer.
Right.
And you could use that for anything. When I was a project manager, I could say, that's why you're the, IT guy, and that's why I'm the project talking guy, or whatever, That's
Yep.
favorite one. No one, again, will get it except for you, but,
Yeah.
it's a good quotable one, and a rush of endorphins.
Yeah. Okay, so with Lionel, I don't have any Lionel on my list,
Shame.
but I know. But you mentioning him, wow, Lionel, that opens so many avenues.
That could be his own show. Yep.
Yeah. Don't let the name fool you. We'll go out on the killing floor, Timmy. Don't let the name fool you. It's more of a grate to let the materials and liquids sluice through.
So that wasn't Lionel. You've just confused Phil Hartman.
Oh, you're right. You are right.
Oh, you're darn right. That's Troy McClure.
Man.
Let's take a peek at the killing floor. Don't let the name throw you, Jimmy. It's not really a floor. It's more of a steel grating that allows material to sluice through so it can be collected and exported.
Which,
Yeah.
God bless old Phil Hartman's memory. That's
Yeah.
he was so amazing in that. But yeah, I did have a Troy McClure, but it's really just a favorite, but it's not really usable in any situation. I just wrote it down because by golly, I love the quote and I sing it to myself all the time. I hate
Every ape I see, from chimpanzee to chimpanzee.
I think that's a brilliant line from the Planet of the Apes musical, and I love it. I love that whole song. But it's not really very quotable from insert it into a conversation.
Yeah, you're right. But it reminds me of another one that I don't use that often, but it has fit on some, glorious, the stars aligned for me. I'll get to say,
Danger is if they send us to that terrible Planet of the Apes. Wait a minute. Statue of Liberty. That was our planet! You maniacs! You blew it up! Damn you! Damn you all to hell!
oh man, that was Homer going into space. So, yep.
And then another Lionel Hutz, and I have used this, and no one gets it except for you. Again, very limited audience will get it. But if somebody does something notable, or again, ironically notable, I like to slip in a
word hero very often. But you are the greatest hero in American history.
I love that line. Lionel Hutz to Homer Simpson when he was suing the all-you-can-eat buffet for not letting him eat all he could eat.
All right, so yep. I have a quote that I hadn't thought of. I didn't write it down, but it is now officially on the list because I use it. There's several from one brief moment. Homer's buying an RV.
You're not Roman, are you?
No.
Look like a god, sort of. Why don't we step into the credit office, Zeus?
and Mr. Simpson, you hear that alarm? Is that a good alarm?
Is that a good siren? Am I approved?
You ever known a siren to be good?
I can on some occasions when I'm working with my sons to with their permits, etc. I will refer to the velocitator and the deceleratrix, which was Burns discussing the pedals on the various pedals in the car. Anytime that I have to get like suntan lotion put somewhere where I can't reach,
Then grease me up, woman!
Okie dokie.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Willie. I don't have any Willie on my list. I can't believe that. That's ridiculous.
Yeah. So another one that I like is when Willie and Marge are deprogramming Homer from following the leader, and Homer says like three just basic things, like he drives a really nice car, and we all work in the field for him or something, and Marge says we're supposed to make him stop, and Willie says,
Talking about my leader!
So guys, what are your favorite quotes? What did we miss? What are quotes that you use every day? Tell us how you use them, because we might have to adopt some of your all's quotes. And we know that, again, this is something that spans generations. So Gen X, Gen Z, whatever comes, millennials. Excuse me, I skipped over the millennials entirely. So yeah, what are your favorite quotes?
I'm always on the lookout for ways to become less intelligible. So, yeah, please.
Mission accomplished.
Mission accomplished. All right, guys.
Nice.
Thanks very much. Like and subscribe, and we will see you next time.
Thanks, guys.